oppression. As long as black and white exist within a caste system built to oppress black people, there is not going to be a peaceful coexistence. The only time there will be a peaceful coexistence is hundreds, if not thousands of years after racial caste system has been dismantled. After it is no longer an oppressive system that still continues to oppress people, then maybe we can think about people that used to be called white and people that used to be called black peacefully coexisting. But in the meantime, there is a racial hierarchy at play that dominates world society and oppresses black people, making it impossible for anyone to coexist with those at the top of that hierarchy. Peace, y'all. What up, what up? My name is Brother Legend, and I'm here to raise your consciousness. Peace and power to all the descendants of my ancient mother. What's going on? All God's people, what up, what up? Come on in, come on in. Today we're having a discussion about who are the allies of our people, what's problematic and what's not, and can we peacefully coexist? Should it even be a question? That's the question. What up, y'all? Answer the questions up above. I'll be giving y'all a grade from A to F, even though I should make it A to Z. Some of y'all getting Z minus. Peace, Dr. Robert, what up? Some of y'all getting Z minus on these grades. Talk to me. Answer some of the questions. Peace and power to all the descendants of my ancient mother. Peace and power to all the descendants of my ancient mother. Happy Black History Month. My name is Brother Legend, and I'm here to raise your consciousness. If you're joining us on YouTube, my TikTok is BIGBROLGND. If you tap the notification bell on the top right of my profile on there, you'll be notified when we go live. I post all of my replays on YouTube. If anybody wants to go check them out, feel free to subscribe, BIGBROLGND. Absolutely, Gene Day. Gene Day is getting the A. Gene Day is getting the A+. Come on, who else wants to answer the questions? Feel free to answer the questions. I'll give you a grade. Until somebody's ready to come up, keep tapping like. When we get to 2K likes, I'm going to start allowing people to come on up. They want to come up and answer some of the questions. Don't forget, the rule is 5 Panther paws if you want to kick a guess. To donate to the B1 initiative, the nonprofit $ Bring Down Babylon. Some of y'all donated last night. If you want early access to sankofapedia.org, then DM me. Let me know what your Cash App tag is. And if you sent a donation, I will give you the password to get into Sankofapedia, the Afrocentric online encyclopedia for African history. We have it all in one place for y'all, the Afrocentric version, okay? The Afrocentric version. Do y'all know what Afrocentric means? That means from the perspectives of African people worldwide. J Boogie with the hoodie, I don't know what you're talking about. Happy Black History Month. We make Black history every day on b1initiative.org. We are currently building internet resources, educational resources for our people, for our children. Grandma's in the house with money. Shout out to Rona. Appreciate you, Stella. Shout out to Queen Stella. Appreciate you. Thank you all for contributing to the live goal that lets the algorithm know that we are providing value to the viewers. Appreciate you again, Queen. Yes, no, yes. So Melanated is on point yet again with another A+. You a teacher's pet. I don't even like that. I don't even like the way that sounded. I never used that. I haven't used that in a long time. We ain't gonna call you a teacher's favorite. Let's do that. We ain't calling no sister no pet. What's your age, race, and pronouns, please?
My name is Ann. I'm black. I don't have any pronouns. I'm 21. I'm 27. My bad. I just got home. I'm 27. I can't hear you. You sound like low.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I can hear you, but it sounds like you're far, even though I know you're not far.
Answer the question.
Okay, there you go. I don't think they can be productive pro-black allies. Reason being I'm saying that because I'm married to a white woman, and the cultural understanding, there is a dynamic between black and white people that they just don't understand. I feel like black people can understand white people 100%, but I think it's hard for white people to understand black people. So I don't think they can be allies. Even if they grow up around black people, they can't. And I don't think interracial marriage is a problem. I mean, any type of marriage will face their problems, but as long as two people are willing to work through those problems, no matter what race, I think they can get over it. And then white people peacefully coexist with non-white people. That's a hard question. I don't even know how to answer that question because the first two is all like I had the answers for, but I think yes, but I think a newer generation would have to be. I don't think the generation now of white people can coexist with non-white people. Just because white people's view on just other countries is already fucked anyway. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say?
Please test.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you now.
We can hear you, but if you're back up a little bit, we can't. You're low.
I don't know why it's doing that.
You good.
All right, so you breeze those questions. I'm gonna give him a D minus. You said that they could be allies, they just wouldn't be effective. Do you consider yourself pro-black, Ant?
Of course, yes.
In what way?
I am for the improvement of especially neighborhoods and especially black people helping other black people. I do. Huh?
Can't
What'd you say?
Why you with a white? You said you're like
I'm
you're
married to a white woman. Yeah.
yeah, but you said like you're pro-black, and you said like because you're about like black people helping black people, you didn't want to help a black woman.
I don't think a marriage is for like just for to help the other person. I think marriage is just between those two people. So I wasn't thinking, oh, I need to find a black woman. It was just like a woman, you know what I'm saying?
Could I say
So
something?
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But
We don't have cross conversation. If you give us your age, race, and pronouns, though, I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
okay. Age, race, and pronouns. 25, black, she, her. I just wanted to say, I thought this was really interesting because what doesn't make sense to me, and is that you said you're a pro-black person, and I'm not all bothered by the fact that you're married to a white woman, but You said you're pro-black, but you also said that you feel like white people wouldn't be good allies because they're not effective and they would never understand a black person to the capacity that they need to understand them to be good allies, yet you married a white woman. It doesn't make sense because if you're going to marry somebody, there's a specific level of connection and just community that you guys need to have together. And if you're all this pro-black, why would you marry somebody that doesn't understand this very important part of you?
Okay, yeah. Well, I can answer that. Yeah, I can easily answer that because I got married to her younger, so I didn't quite understand the cultural difference that we would have. Now, I love her 100%. I love my wife 100%. And I'm not gonna divorce her just because we are having this issue. Because I love her and she does. I help her, she helps me, and things like that. So, but coming now, I would love to have that understanding that I have now of marrying a white woman or a black woman. So I was just young at that time and I didn't understand or wasn't knowledgeable of just being black.
There's so many things that come to mind when you say things like this. Because when we talk about black people, we talk about a people that are currently being oppressed. Do you disagree?
No,
So you think a black oppression is over?
no, actually, I don't disagree.
Okay. So that being the case, um, when did we get to the point where we could start loving someone who's part of the group that oppresses our people? Like, if I took a woman out of her house, tied her up in the basement of my house, and did not untie her, didn't feed her, improve her conditions at all, kept her tied up in the corner of my basement, and then she told me that she loved me, you would say that that's Stockholm syndrome, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would say that. Yes.
So when did we get to the point where we got to love? Like where does how do you fit into pro-blackness by loving the people that are currently oppressing your people, part of a violent oppressive class, and then calling that pro-black? Do you think we want her, marching or in our spaces or building with us? Can we build a black society with you? Because are you going to choose your people or are you going to choose your wife?
Well, I think that where it's things are misconstrued at is if you when you build any society, I feel like there needs to be inclusion as far as other people. I mean, yes, like Mexicans, they have their own thing, but like they're not gonna be mad if you're going over to Mexico and enjoying their culture and things like that. I can't hear you.
Black,
I can't hear
our
you.
struggle. I don't know. Maybe I
That's
don't know
good right
why.
there.
That's weird. I think it's because he's loud.
Yeah,
Can y'all
his
hear me now?
background is out. We can hear you.
So you cannot compare black people's struggle to anyone else's struggle. And when you say Mexicans, that's a nationality. It's not a race. I think it's weird when people try to do that because there are black Mexicans, and you just don't know that much because they get looked over, and that's part of anti-blackness in Mexico. So, um, you know, when you talk about other communities, you can't compare them to the black community because we face what they face. They don't face everything that we face. So please, wait, hold on,
Oh,
Lynette.
mute, ma'am.
So um, I just think your definition of pro-black is a little off. I think if anything, it would be best for you to be an anti-racist because you chose to marry outside of our community. You chose to build outside of our community with those that have sought to destroy our community for 400 years. For some reason, you felt safe enough to build with them. So go ahead and do that. Use the privilege of protection granted to your unbaked significant other and, maybe teach her how to be anti-racist and dismantle racism. Why would you, call yourself pro-black? Because pro-blackness is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the black community. Black consciousness is a retention of Africanity and a rejection of white supremacy. How can you reject white
Can I
supremacy
say something?
and accept it at the same time? Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like there's a little bit hatred, and I'm not saying that you're wrong as far as the white oppression among black people. Me personally, I don't have any protection from being with a white woman. I still have a bunch of experience being harassed by white people, but I still have God in me to love everybody. And also, I don't group all white people together. I wouldn't want them to group all of us together. So I don't think me being with a black woman would make me anti-racist. That seems a little bit extreme.
Hold on. We didn't listen now. Nobody said you don't like black people. We just said you're not building with us. You building with them people. So if you want to build with them, then feel free to go build with them. Nobody gonna stop you. Nobody said you a bad person. Don't take it as a judgment. It's just the truth. You being pro-black, again, is prioritizing, meaning your priorities in life, your goals in life, what your objective is as a man, to align your actions and values together, what you do and what you believe, with what's in the best interest above self-interest, above the best interest of all other communities, what's in the best interest of your community and building with your people. You can't prioritize our community because the moment that you do that, you're going to have to deprioritize your wife. And so that's where it becomes unhealthy. Either, for example, in Africa, there are plenty of European descendants in
Rick,
South Africa. Am I going out again, D?
he gonna be a problem. Richard gonna be a problem. If you can't stay on mute, you're gonna be a problem. You're already talking to the screen. So mute up and stay muted till it's your turn. We hear you, brother. Go ahead.
So in South Africa, they have an issue where only 10%, 7% of the population owns 70%. No, I think it's 10%. My bad. 10% of the population owns 70% of the land in South Africa. 10% of the population owns 70% of the land in South Africa. And would you believe it? They're not even indigenous to South Africa. They come from Europe. They come from the European colonizers that colonized South Africa. The black people in South Africa have sought economic freedom from their oppressor. And in doing so, they have been trying to remove Europeans from their land, just like you would see indigenous people here in America and Palestinians in the Middle East. They have been trying to rid themselves of their oppressor. In doing so, an interracial relationship, a black man with a white woman, would be problematic to the movement. How are you going to rid yourself of those that colonize and oppress you while at the same time being married to them? That doesn't make any sense. And now you can do that if you want to do that. No one's saying you're a bad person for that. But what we're saying is you're not going to do what's in the best interest of our people.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Okay. It's kind of a question. So are you saying that you can't be in a marriage outside of your race, or just black people can't be in a marriage outside their race if they want to be for the movement?
Rephrase the question. I'm not understanding.
I think y'all need to move right on back to Africa.
Get off our line. I knew you was gonna say something with your whack ass. I was waiting for you.
Why?
Kick him off, Leisha.
No, I was saying, are you saying that black people, or are you saying that people can't be in a marriage outside their race, or are you saying black people can't be in a marriage outside of their race if they want to be pro-black?
Black people can't be in a marriage outside of their race if they're considering themselves pro-black. I don't care about other communities. I'm talking about black people.
Okay. So if we have that mindset, how do we I feel like you already don't believe black people can't coexist with white people, non-black people.
I think you skipped the operative word there, peacefully.
Well, I don't think you think that black people can peacefully coexist with white people at all.
If I said I could jump to the moon.
Would I believe you if you said you could jump to the moon? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't believe you.
Why wouldn't you believe me?
Because you can't jump to the moon. But that seems like an extreme.
It seems extreme, huh? What makes it seem so extreme? Is it because you've never seen someone jump to the moon before?
I mean, it's because it's not physically possible, but it is physically possible to be just a good person.
Never seen my physique, so how do you know it's physically impossible?
Because it's not physically possible, regardless of your physique.
You said it's not physically possible, but I'm saying, how do you know what I'm made of? I could be made of helium. You don't know what I'm made of. You're talking to me on the phone. The reason you think it's impossible is because you've never seen a person made of helium try to jump to the moon. And so you can assume that based off of history and people you've met, that there is not someone on Earth that can jump as high as the moon. So when I'm talking about 400 years of oppression, and I look back at since what, the 1440, I believe it was, since the Papal Edict, the Manifest Destiny, whatever, when all that went down, there has not since been a civilization that has been able to peacefully coexist with Europeans and their descendants. So why would I believe that there's a way for them to peacefully coexist with anyone? I've only seen the exact opposite of that.
Well, but if you're not coming with it from a perspective of love, why don't we just go to war with them at that point? If you're not coming at a perspective like that.
Low, bro.
But Ant, hold on real quick. I'm about to just blow away your
Hold on, dude. Go on mute. Please go on mute.
Hey, everybody that want to come up here, stop trying to come up here and just talk. Like, we don't do that. One at a time. We don't do that. Everybody come up here and just come on. Everybody got their hot little piece to say. Like, stop. All right. So, Ann, I gotta go to the next guest because people are itching to start talking. All I'm gonna say is this. There's a movie coming out in a few days, based off the book. It's called what's it called? Caste: The Origin of Our Discontent. The name of the movie is Origin. It's directed by Ava DuVernay. It's based on a Pulitzer Prize-winning book by what's the name of the sister? Isabel Wilkerson. And it speaks to how race is set up to be a caste system of oppression. It's out already? Okay. But yeah, it speaks to how it's a caste system of oppression. As long as black and white exist within a caste system built to oppress black people, there is not going to be a peaceful coexistence. The only time there will be a peaceful coexistence is hundreds, if not thousands of years after racial caste system has been dismantled. After it is no longer an oppressive system that still continues to oppress people, then maybe we can think about people that used to be called white and people that used to be called black peacefully coexisting. But in the meantime, there is a racial hierarchy at play that dominates world society and oppresses black people, making it impossible for anyone to coexist with those at the top of that hierarchy. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Seta Minata. Give us your age right. To the next guest.
A female, black, 24. Sorry, I said sex. 24. She, her. In regards of Ant, there was something that you said that I thought wasn't necessarily fair, right? But I think Ant's confusion came from his understanding of what pro-black means. In my perspective, pro-black is a movement, but it seems like from your perspective, it's a lifestyle. That being said, please let me know if you confirm this. That being said, you would agree that if somebody cannot be pro-black if they have a white partner, right?
What do you mean by a movement?
For example, in my understanding, when pro black first came about, I thought it was more of a movement. People making organizations and changes towards the treatment of black people in wherever country they come from, the environment that they live in their communities. That's what I meant.
No, that's anti-racism. That's civil rights. Civil rights was a movement. The Black Power movement was a movement. Pro-blackness has always meant the same thing. Pro-blackness, you're correct in saying it's a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle of, once again, prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the black community. That is a that's a definition you can get from a few of the scholars that kind of did groundwork for what pro-black is defined as. Malcolm X in his organization, the Afro-American Unity Speech, Dr. Amos Wilson in the Blueprint for Black Power. So that's always meant the same thing. It became a lot more subjective around the Black Lives Matter movement when people started painting their face like this.
Right.
Black just meant anti-oppression, and that is never what pro-black has meant. Black Lives Matter is an anti-racist movement, not a pro-black movement. Black Lives Matter is obviously not for black people because you don't need to tell black people that Black Lives Matter. So who are we talking to when we say Black Lives Matter? That in itself should let you know that that is not something that is focused on the black community, but better described as something that is focused on getting people like her to treat us better. So that's different.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I'm not, that's all I wanted to say. I'm stepping down. I've already spoken. Thank you, though.
I think people are with this, especially if we thinking to be pro-black, when there are people that don't want to even be black, like they have their own anti-blackness. To think of it as a movement is like crazy wild, because what community has just had a little movement where everybody can participate and it's pushed their community forward, especially when we talk about money. And that's the issue in these conversations is a lot of y'all are saying, oh, love who you want to love. When you're choosing a partner, that is the foundation of your life. You are building a foundation generationally. If it's a true marriage where you plan on actually being together, two families are being bridged together. So he said the key thing that man's aunt said earlier was, it's just two people. It's just us. No, it's not. And that's the analogy that literally you get from Europeans, this idea of it just being us. And I've said this before, particularly with black men, y'all get separated from your families. It's a reason why that woman is okay with you saying it's just us, because she's gets you in her web. And all of a sudden now, just like he did up here, you fighting black people about us choosing ourselves instead of going over to YT people and making her fight her community that is still oppressing you because you're still experiencing racism with people that look like your spouse.
And that's what I was saying. That's why I had to clarify with the host, because my perspective from Ant's point of view was that he looked at it as a movement, whereas the host talks about pro-black as a lifestyle, which is the first time I'm hearing pro-black as a lifestyle, but that's what I thought it was anyway. If you're pro-black, everything that you have to do is basically just outside yourself. You're looking forward towards the black community as well, trying to make it better. So that's why my first question when I came on here is I didn't understand how he wants to be pro-black, believes that white people don't understand black people, and then married a white woman. It didn't make sense to me. But yeah, but thank you. You could put me down. Thank you.
Okay, I would almost say pro-blackness is a worldview or a philosophy, and then also political ideology. So it encompasses all of that. But ideology and philosophy are kind of different. But I would say it's an ideology. I would say it's an ideology, probably the most. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the next guest, Miss K. What's going on?
How you doing, nephew? How you doing today? You all right?
What's going on?
I can't hear you.
Oh, peace. You can't hear me? I don't know why
No, you real low.
all right. Go ahead, talk to the people while I figure out my phone.
Oh, it came. It's better now. I got you. Um,
Okay.
it cracks me up. I love your show. It's you and another girl show I try to get on all the time when I catch you. But it cracks me up that you always attract Clarence Thomas and what's her name, Candace Owens people on here every day. That cracks me up.
I know.
Shit, this man. Wait a minute. Now you know I only came on here to clown and make you laugh, right? How you gonna say that you literally it's love is everything? Love is nothing to some people. Cause this the thing, if you gonna come over here and say that love conquers everything, then the world would be okay. Nobody loves anybody. He confused. His wife ain't though. His wife ain't. He confused. Them kids confused. Okay, that whole household was a mess. But he steady on here. He gonna say, "I love my wife."
What's
Listen,
wrong?
Charlie,
What's wrong with Candy Orange?
a whole bunch of things.
If you don't know what's wrong with Candace Owens,
Yes,
you in the
something
wrong
wrong with
space.
you. Yes, something wrong
Right,
with you.
there's something wrong with you.
Yes, something wrong with him. But it's amazing. But my thing is this with the people that really try to stick together with us. This is it. If they let them do what they do, let them stay in that corner. When something happened, we as black people need to stop being so forgiving and letting them back home. Because one, all they doing is sending spies back to us. There ain't no
Mm-hmm.
such thing as no ally. Those are spies. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no in between with them. And when somebody showed you who they are in 450 years, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to make excuses for folks. It is what it is. They love who they love, which is themselves, and then they don't love you. So this whole thing with these folks trying to we can live harmony together. No, we can't. If that was the case, they would have been let us go and gave us a land. They gave everybody else a land, and just would have gave us a land in 1948 when they gave everybody else their land.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all can stop that cat with all that. I don't understand or what about this or what about that. I'm telling you right now, I'm on your live and I'm gonna respect you, but I really want to tell them how I feel and get some stuff off my chest, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But don't come over to this kind of live and just be pushing your that rhetoric that we can live together because it doesn't work. It's never gonna work. And they told you it ain't gonna work. So stop with that all that craziness. We can live together and my biracial kids, boy, quit. Quit.
Mm-hmm.
Them kids gonna turn around and call him a name when they get older because they gonna hear his mother call him a name. All right, I gotta go on
Mute
now.
up, Aunt.
I gotta go on now. When I see you later, sweetie.
All right, appreciate you, Auntie. One
Mm-hmm.
love.
Bye, Miss K.
All right, just us, just cause. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please. You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you. You might be talking.
Can you hear me now?
No, not you. Not you, studio. Um, just us, just cause, just cause.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Oh, we hear you
Hey,
now.
okay, I don't know what happened with my mic, but my pronouns is she, her, and what else was it? African American, Black American.
And you're over 18?
Oh yeah, I'm 50. I'll be 51 next week.
Hi.
All
Yes.
right. Talk to us, Queen.
Hey.
Okay, so
Mute
Sorry.
up.
Sorry, I'll be quiet.
Just mute. Put the mic on mute.
All right.
okay. Okay, yep. So do I think that interracial relationships can work? Absolutely not. Especially when we're talking about black folks marrying white people. And I find it to be like kind of odd that so many black folks will fight tooth and nail to try to create this situation of love and being peace with these folks when we've had over 400 years. Actually, it's been more than 400 years everywhere on the planet that white folks plant their feet in is chaos that follows. And so to ask the question, can we have a productive and loving relationship with them? I think you have to look at the history of them as a whole. And like I said, it's floored me when we can look at the Jewish and the German community. So when the Germans did what they did to the Jews, you never saw the Jewish community trying to intermarry with the Germans.
That J word, just stop saying it. Say J. Yeah, cause ooze, the ooze. You can't say it to me.
Okay, yeah, got you. Thank you. So I'm just saying that that's sad that you can't even say that word. Oh my God. That is see what I mean, but this is what I mean. By we are trying to force these people to be something that they are not. And I really see like we need to become unified across the nation. Black folks, wherever we are, that we have to unify and have a self-love and progress as a people, because everywhere we are, we're oppressed. So I think we need to worry about that first before we try to mingle with other groups that are not us. And so whenever I see black man in particular, and I just say this in particular, a black man married to a non-black woman, I see him as a person who's not committed to the cause of saying our race of people do better. That's the first thing. The second thing is when black men marry white women, the woman is the first teacher. She is the first teacher to that child. So everything she knows and everything she does not know goes into that child's mind. And so I have there's a lot to say about that right there. Why he would choose a woman to rear his children when it's impossible for her to ever understand what our oppression looks like. It's impossible. She can have some type of empathy, but that only goes so far. And when I really analyze white people's behavior, it really is it's a mental health. It's like a disease or disorder that seems to almost be embedded. And as a therapist, psychologist, when people ask me, well, babies don't have any prejudices. Yes, they do. Babies have prejudices. And they're just like, people don't know until they know. And I argue with folks all the time. Babies do not have, yes, they do. Why do you think a baby will stare at a person that looks unfamiliar? They'll stare up and down, just keep staring at you because you're unfamiliar. You're scary. You are not the norm from what they're seeing every day in their community, in their household. So they are going to stare and even cry if you approach them, which is natural. It's very natural it's a way for them to protect themselves. And so I tell my students, this is a very normal thing, for babies to do that. So yes, babies are prejudiced. Just like animals are.
Sorry.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm talking too much, but what I would say is that it is very problematic when white women in particular have these biracial children. And I know from experience that a lot of these mothers are very problematic, especially when that daughter in particular doesn't meet the expectations in terms of her looks. She may get a nose from her father, the African-American nose, the hair. They almost have a hate for that child. And especially if it's a daughter, right? So, I don't know.
Can I jump in at any point and can someone
No,
let me know?
you cannot.
Until it's your turn.
Yeah,
see what I mean?
See,
they don't know how to, that's the arrogance of them, right? I sat here and listened I've been here for a while, just waiting my turn on mute. I would never interrupt any of the folks. This is what I mean, the nature of them. They don't know how to sit back and just listen because they take everything so personal. it becomes so personal. They can't wait to prove how wrong someone else is. And that's why I say they're unteachable. They are unteachable. You cannot teach them. They're hard-headed ass kids. That's how I see white folks, hard-headed children.
I'm black. I'm black, and I take it personal too.
All right, yeah, all right. Well, you talking too?
Yeah,
Brother,
Yeah,
and
what's
he,
up?
and he should take it personal, especially if
Are
he's
you going to
married
allow
to
me
a
to
non-black
speak?
person.
We don't do
up.
cross talk, y'all. All right, hold on. Hold on. If y'all
Why are you
if
allowing me?
next person to interrupt this sister is getting dropped. Like I'm trying to be patient with y'all. I know y'all have your own takes, your own point of view. We're gonna give you a chance to speak. But y'all not about to sit here and talk over a black woman, whether you a black man or a lipless Lizzie. We not doing that. Calm down. All right. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And I have to say, like, I come from, I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. the greatest man on earth, I believe, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, who was one of my
Hey, shout out
greatest
to
friends.
absolutely.
Yes, one of my, yes, like that, one of my greatest friends. And like, I
You
was
know him
under
though?
his
You
teaching,
actually
his
knew him?
guidance. Yes, sir. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I have, like,
Hey,
oh
you
my,
need to come through to the
Brother,
nonprofit. Wait, hold on. She need to come through to the nonprofit, sister. You gotta come through and see what we building. We making Black
I,
history. There's a nonprofit, b1initiative.org. That's what it's a a technology startup. We're categorizing people like uh Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, John Henry Clark, all of them into an online encyclopedia like Wikipedia. And
beautiful.
we're just making an Afrocentric knowledge base for people to, be able to educate their children and stuff like that. But the link is in my bio. You should join the Discord. We're doing some pretty a comprehensive work on cataloging African history going back thousands of years.
Wow, that's beautiful. I'm going to definitely check you out. And yes, I watch your lives all the time. I support you. When I'm not working, I check you out. And just keep doing what you're doing, brother. I'm so proud of you. And I will digress from this point on and let other folks talk. But thank you for what you're doing. I love and appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you too, sister. One love. Thank you. And I'm gonna send you the link. You're definitely gonna be interested in what we're building because we started building a website. Anybody else that's interested or wants to donate, we started a website. It's a comprehensive online encyclopedia. It shows the connection. It's not like just Wikipedia. Wikipedia just has a bunch of articles. We're not only going to have Afrocentric articles, we're going to have badges on people who participated in enslaving our ancestors. When you go on their profile, you're going to see a badge on their page. We're gonna hold people accountable. We're going to also tell an Afrocentric version of history, and then on top of that, we're going to show the connection between the ancestors, different historical events, cultures. It's quite a thing to see. You can actually look at African history. You can actually see a graph with different data points on the website. So if anybody's interested, join the B1 Initiative Discord. The link is in my bio. We'll be glad to have you. Appreciate you, Queen. Thank you for bringing up Dr. Khalid as well. That's one
Absolutely.
of the great teachers. I was just watching him this week, watching his debate against Chuck Sterling. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, wait, not Sterling. What's his name? Chuck Singleton. Chuck Singleton, and
Yes. Yeah.
that's a heated debate.
That brother was like, when I tell you, he was so profound and brilliant. I
Yeah,
I miss him so much.
yeah.
I miss him. But
hmm
but
We're
yes, I'm
gonna
gonna check out
continue
your
his work.
website.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna continue his work. We are continuing his work. We make Black history every day because there is no other website like the one I'm talking about, where
I'm
it's
excited to check it
unapology.
out.
Yeah, like it's unapology Afrocentric. If you could just join the Discord or DM me, I'll help you join it if you don't know how to join the Discord. But I'll send you the link to the website and give you the password because right now we have it so that only approved people can get in. But I'll send you the password. I think it's something you should check out because we're
Yes,
working
please
on it
do.
every day.
Please do. Don't forget about me. I really want to
Absolutely.
be involved.
All right, definitely. All right, appreciate
Uh,
you, Queen.
yep. Peace.
One love. All right, next guest, Manny. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm 30 years old, African American, obviously. And yeah, my pronouns are he,
All
him,
right.
yeah.
Okay, all right, hold on real quick. Everybody down there, y'all gotta tap like, man. We got some people in here, and y'all not tapping like. We got over 260 people in here. I need y'all to tap like. We gotta get to our first 50K. We've been live for a little minute now, so we need y'all to tap like. I also should have said something, D. I just remembered. I don't know if Tia is in here, Sister Tia, but I
I
should have.
think you.
She said she was a psychologist, and I was talking about how as we're cataloging African history, we are going to need a psychologist to help
I was
us.
trying to tell you last night. I have a best friend that's a therapist, so I'll get her. She has a few other, but the way that it works is state by state. You know, they can't do too much outside of their sanctions.
Well, my
Um,
thing was, could she just be a counselor? You know what I'm saying? Just like
yeah,
not like do therapy sessions, but just be.
guiding.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Okay.
just because we doing some work
But
where we're
she knows
seeing.
other therapists. That's what the thing was. So we could loop in a few people. But I'll get her in the mix.
Okay, definitely appreciate that, D.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go back to Manny. Go ahead, talk to us. Answer the questions up above.
First of all, how y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good night and everything. Can white people, can YT people be pro black, allies? Yes. Um, is interracial marriage problematic? I really don't think so all the way. Um, YT people peacefully coexist with black people. Can YT people coexist with black people? Yes. Uh, so my thing is this. I start out by saying this. Well, she's gone now, but you see how she kind of disrespected cause she hit the unmute button and this and that, but at the same time, it's a weird environment I'm in now because I'm from Mississippi. I'm from down south, and so I had that kind of mentality like white people is against black people and this and that. And then I recently moved. I got married and I moved to Iowa like 6 years ago. And then I started to realize like I don't think it's a all the way color problem. I think it's a classism problem, like the classes you in, because at the end.
It's the end of the day right now. He out of here. Hey, shout out to Stella. Appreciate you, Queen. Five Panther Paws to kick a guest. Don't forget Five Panther Paws, and you can kick somebody. That's how we do it. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Next
Oh,
guest.
If they're
Uh,
coin
hello.
cotton, how much do they send, brother?
what?
If they're
Uh,
coin cotton, because some people aren't sending gift, they don't want to support the TikTok.
Oh
How
yeah.
much do you want them to send to drop?
If you want me to drop somebody, send $5. Send $5
Send
right now.
$10, and we'll drop somebody. Thank y'all.
All right.
$10 to
All right,
drop a
$10.
guest.
$10 to drop somebody. If you want to do it just yourself, you want to be the person to drop somebody, $10. But if everybody wants to vote, then send Five Panther Paws. The next guest, Ant, A-N-T, give us your age, race, and pronouns. You was just up here.
I can wait a little bit if you would like.
Okay, what's going on? I have a very short-term memory on this app.
Skip
Uh,
back, bro. Skip him.
dog, stop. I'm the black guy that was married to a white woman. Remember? You remember?
Yeah. We
You
might.
remember?
All right, Ant, let me give somebody new a chance to talk. I'm gonna come back to you. Studio, you gotta mute up. You got a lot of sound in your background. It sound like you in the club or something. We'll go to the next guest, and then we'll come back to you.
Brother, pause real
Ant.
quick. Who, Francesca, did you send $10 to drop? I'm
Let
just
us know, Francesca. Rebecca, give us your age, race, and pronouns.
Why, Amy, 28,
Okay.
English, British.
All right. Yeah, we just asked your race. All right, go ahead. Talk to us.
I just wanted to say, why is everything so negative on here against white women?
Anyone feel negative? Hey, if you feel positive, down in the comments, put the fist emoji. If you feel like the live is positive, put the fist emoji.
Do you know what?
If y'all feel like the live is positive, put the fist emoji. I don't feel like it's negative. Does anybody feel like it's negative? Oh, she out of here.
That? Can I answer that?
Wait, hold on. I gotta give props. Shout out to SB and sister Stella for the Panther pause. All right, who wanted to answer that? Who's answering? Was that Black Swan? Oh, Danny. Hold on, Danny. You got people in front of you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Tara JS. What's going on, sister?
Hello, how y'all doing today?
I'm well.
Yeah, I was just listening. I was actually came up to address the whole coin cut thing. Probably not today because you already started, but the way I seen other people doing is when you start the live, you have an option of turning off the option to accept gifts, and then in the background you just put your Cash App, and then the people on the panel can put their Cash App in the background. I just wanted to put that out there so that because my understanding is that it's supposed to hurt TikTok and they get money from the gifts and they take like a big percentage of it. But if yeah, so if you could if you could still accept gifts, they still getting paid from it. So just maybe next time you come on here for the rest of the week, turn that option on.
Coin cot is a thing. Somebody
it's for the black people.
Nobody told me this.
I told you yesterday.
Yeah, it officially started today. It officially started today. It's until the 9th.
What's the play? Hold on.
Okay, I have to tell you how to do it. But so basically, the content creators, black people have been getting suppressed. So black and minority people have been getting suppressed. So the way to push back is to affect TikTok's dollar. So what they're doing is they're boycotting TikTok being able to make a profit off of their lives by you can go into your settings. So when you start your live, you know how it says go start, where it says settings, you'll click it and you can turn off the gifts. There's literally a button that you click and it'll turn off the gifts, and then you just get everybody to Cash App you.
Okay.
But they're doing it until I think the 9th. So they can't fully block out. Some people are doing it the whole month.
Why are they doing it until the 9th?
I don't know. But some people are doing the whole month of February.
Yeah, but the goal is to affect their like bottom dollar. So if you can still accept gifts, then they still get paid for this. That's the only reason I came up here to address it, though.
Okay. Can somebody send me the video on that?
You're done. I'll send you one Liv sent me.
Yeah. All right. Bet. All right. I'm not gonna be the one to cross the picket line. Do I feel like it's gonna affect the bottom line? Probably not. I mean, I know that TikTok shop right now is like killing it as far as, making sales for this app, but we also know that we're not in a place built for black people. This is a place built for entertainment of mostly non-black people. So, that's the thing. We got to have our own spaces, y'all. That's why I got the Discord. We're building that Discord up. Eventually, y'all not even gonna see me going live on here. So I'm just building it up in the background. But I'll definitely do that. All right, next guest, Studio 3057. Give us your age, race, and pronouns. Appreciate you, Sister Tara.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make a couple of comments. I'm not going to stay too long. My first point is... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm at work.
Goodness.
What is that?
I'm sorry. I'm at work. Okay? But first... Yeah, I'm okay. My first point is the only reason why I believe that we live in harmony is because black people aren't fighting back. It's easy to say that we're at peace when the things that are happening to us aren't being addressed by us. I feel like a lot of people don't understand the analogy of like when you go into a restaurant, if you ever notice there's a certain type of harmony within the vicinity when they put certain people in the front and then they put you either by the bathroom or towards the back or in a corner. And I feel like that's our position in America as Black people. We've been placed in so many corners and we got comfortable because they're not picking at us in the corners. They're only picking at us when we come out, when we're in the forefront, when we're the head of the sports or anything that you look at in America, we become number one if we're taught properly. Look at the science, look at the sports, the leagues, anything that revolves around intellect. And if we're taught properly, we become number one. And I think for them, they understand that if I begin to teach and if I begin to give them resources, they will not only outsource us, but we will become obsolete. There won't be a need for that particular culture of people. Also, I wanted to state, there's no interracial relationship that I've seen that has brought a benefit back to our community. Anytime our elite Black brothers and sisters get just Candace Owens, Kobe Bryant, and other people so forth, that money, once they die, go back to their community, not ours. I haven't seen Vanessa Bryant and God rest, bless the dead. I've seen Vanessa Bryant do anything intentional for the Black community. But yet her husband was Black, her kids are Black. So the interracial part of it becomes an advocate for the white side. If you ever notice when there's interracial relationships, white and Black couples, it becomes,
You there?
us. Because white people understood that. And when their children went outside of their teachings to deal with Black people, it was, you gonna die with the Negro. It wasn't, oh, I love my daughter, I'm gonna save her, and I'm gonna, take that side out. It was, y'all gonna go together. And in order for us to rise up and become the epitome of cultures or races or whatever the case may be, we have to play the same game that they're playing in the same way that they're playing. Black people are so afraid to go within that animal instinct and fight back. If we had the same people growing up in the 70s and 80s that understood the law, hold on. I remember watching old school movies where when the police would come into certain neighborhoods, there would be a group of Black men with guns. They would stand their ground. They would come out and make sure that the police were doing their jobs right.
Sister, you gotta be careful with some of the words you're saying. You gotta talk like you're talking to a 2-year-old because you're on TikTok. You gotta say pew pews.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not used to the TikTok social media world, so
Yeah,
I will adjust some of my words.
No, I'm not offended at all. You speaking truth, sister. It's just TikTok will take us down.
Yeah, and honestly, I want to also say I appreciate this discussion and I appreciate it coming from a Black man because sometimes the narrative that y'all have on y'all isn't this. It's not positive. It's always something ignorant or, And so I appreciate the conversation and I pray that you get to keep it going and I pray that you meet your mission goals. And we need this. And we need to understand that we're only at peace because we're not fighting. And before, there's no other group of people that can listen to their people being raped, killed, unalive.
No.
Unalive.
Friendly words. Unalived. Pew pew. Great.
Yeah. Okay. There's not another group of people that have suffered openly around the world like we have that has sat back and say, okay, we just gonna read about it in the books. We're just gonna read about it on a newspaper or read it in a movie or see it in a movie and be okay with that narrative. Everybody else is able to come together and say, no, this is not our group and this is not how we're gonna be portrayed. We're the only ones that take it and lay down with it. And now we're walking around with sexy reds and gangsters and all these kind of characters that are purposefully infiltrating our children and making them vulnerable because certain liberations don't free certain cultures of people. I've never seen a certain narrative being put on other cultures that everybody is responsible for. And what I mean by that is if a black woman goes out there and do something ignorant, it becomes a staple on all women. This is why we don't date y'all. This is why we don't do this. Or if a black man do something in the media, it becomes all of y'all are thugs. And I feel like there's no other group of people that has an isolated stereotype. Oh, well, that was just one situation, but look at the black woman that is creating technology for cancer. We don't see that as an overall black woman. We see that as an isolated situation, but let something negative happen and it becomes the full group. So I believe in what you're doing, and I believe we're coming around. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we're starting to see that there's a pattern and there's a system in place specifically for us to lose our weight and continue to go further down the rabbit hole. And we coming out of it. We're not the crabs in the barrel no more. We understand that if a couple of us
come back.
So that's all I have to say. And thank you.
All right, appreciate you, Queen. Thank you for that lovely rundown. Absolutely. I agree with everything she said. She was talking facts. And thank you for supporting the platform. Do tell a friend, be1initiative.org. That's our nonprofit. We are building with our people. We are cataloging our history. We're doing the ancestors' work. We're continuing the work of Malcolm X and the Organization of Afro-American Unity. We're continuing the work of Dr. Khalid Muhammad, of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, of Dr. Neely Fuller. Our organization is based on all of their work. Dr. John Henrik Clark, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, Professor James Smalls, just so many of the ancestors, Dr. Joy DeGroy, the list goes on. But appreciate you. All right.
May I go now?
Yeah, it's your turn, Danny. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Okay. My name is Danielle. I'm turning 29 tomorrow, so it's my birthday tomorrow. I go by she, her, and did I answer all of
Your
it
race.
or? Oh, I'm black.
Did you say non-black?
No, I said I'm black.
Oh, okay. I thought you said non-black. I'm like,
No.
that is the weirdest way to answer that.
No, no. I'm black, but technically we are Haitian. My family is Haitian, but I just classify
We're
myself as
Africans
black.
in Haiti. We hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Y'all are the reason we got freedom here in the United States. Shout out to my Haitians. Kanala pop kampe.
Right. All right. So, sorry, I got excited. So the whole can white people be pro black allies? I would say yes, but I haven't met a lot of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know they exist. For instance, my best friend, she is a white person, but she is very educated on everything that is everything about black history, the history of our struggle with what we're doing now.
Ask her to name one African queen next time you see her.
I definitely will.
Because that's what they do. I'm educated on your history. I know all about your people. I know about slavery.
She actually is though. She's not BSing. I've met the BSing people.
Ask her the name of one African queen.
Okay. I
Because
will.
they will tell you they know your history going back to when white people found you.
Okay.
They don't know. A lot of them don't know the history. They think our history begins when they found us.
Oh yeah,
And,
no.
and so I don't fall for that. But at the same time, knowing African history is not pro-black.
Well, that's crazy. Saying that she's only my best friend because of your close proximity to whiteness, that's insane.
Are you
Anyway,
reading comments?
Yes, he
yeah,
is.
Don't do
yeah,
that. Don't do that. Yeah,
that
don't do
just,
that.
yeah, that was unnecessary. But the interracial dating, I always feel
Wait, hold on.
sketchy.
Hold on. We ain't done with the
Oh,
pro-black. Oh, nah.
oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on now. You said you have a white pro-black friend. I need to hear how she's pro-black.
She has
Am I pro-Chinese because I know about the Ming Dynasty?
okay. She has passed along information with Black Lives Matter. Not only that, but she's done
Black Lives Matter is not a
several.
pro-black movement.
Okay. She's done several marches, and she has
White people
also.
marching ain't pro-black.
Okay, then what's your definition of
Not my definition.
pro-black?
It's the definition.
So what
Pro-blackness
is
is
the
prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building the black community.
okay?
Building.
Okay.
Building within the black community, building a black community. You
Okay.
can't build a black community. How about this? You can't build a brick house with wood. If you
Okay.
are a wooden plank, you're not building a brick house with us.
Right.
Now, you can
Right.
go
Okay.
stop the destruction of brick houses if you want to be wood and you want to, I don't know, be a plank up someone's ass, then you go ahead and do that. That'll help the destruction so that it's not destroying us. That is called anti-racism. Anti-racism is dismantling racial oppression, anti-black racism for the most part. But I'm sorry. Got some.
No. It's okay.
But
I
that's
wanted
what I'm saying. That's the
to
difference.
understand
Yeah, I know. A
what
lot
you
of
meant.
black people don't understand. A lot of our
Okay.
brothers and sisters don't understand. And that is the reason why I make this live. Because
Okay.
a lot of us don't understand and we find ways to include them into our spaces because we do have a natural tendency to allow them. That's part of the conditioning of living in an anti-black world. If I was a Muslim, you would never say I, as a Muslim, can be pro-Jewish. You would never say, no Jewish person would say a Muslim person is prioritizing building within the Jewish community and that a bunch of Muslim people can build a Jewish community as long as they love Jews. You would never say that. Like you would never say that a German, and during World War II, a German community can be pro-ish people because they just know their history. Like
Okay.
you see what I'm
I
saying?
misunderstood. Yeah. I misunderstood
No, I know
what you
a
meant.
lot of brothers and sisters do, but that's the reason I point out
Okay.
anti-racism versus pro-blackness. Black Lives Matter is
Okay.
anti-racist. They're not building with us.
Gotcha.
They just
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I get you now. I'm sorry. That was
Mm-hmm.
my fault.
No, you good.
I
All right, go
sounded
into the next
really
question.
ignorant. My bad.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Please.
So the interracial dating, I'm not here to police people on who they love. However, with interracial dating, there's always some type of weird like fetishization of like the other party. Like specifically when mixed like race couples go like, "Oh, I cannot wait to have a mixed baby," and stuff like that. Like I find it kind of like like all right, like there's just a lot of it not ignorance, but there's a lot of like stuff that they don't go deep into. They're like they see these relationships on the surface, but when it comes to like racism and like stuff like that, if it's like with an interracial couple, it can be difficult because they're not really talking about like the actual struggles that like specifically like the black person goes through, or they let the white person disrespect them completely, and it's just like a well you're married to me, I have the N-word pass, blah, blah, blah. That's usually where it ends up, where it's just some type of weird form of racism that the other party has. So I'm not going to police them, but I'm always just kind of, I guess, worried. Like, I'm not very sure on them.
Do you believe it's unethical for, say, a 70-year-old man to marry a 20-year-old woman?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Especially if the 20-year-old woman maybe doesn't have as much money, wealth, and resources as the 70-year-old man?
Right. I would
And
say that.
what about Bill Clinton and his intern Monica Lewinsky? Would you say that would be an unethical relationship if Bill Clinton were single? That he were to be the president, leader of the free world, and he was in a relationship with his intern?
Yeah, because of the power struggle.
The power struggle, the power dynamic.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The power dynamic.
In the caste system of racial oppression that exists in the world today, that we call race, right? That puts
Hmm.
people into categories based on white, black. If you're white, you're all right. If you're brown, no. If you're black, if you're white, you're all right. If you're yellow, you're mellow. If you're brown, stick around. If you're black, get back.
Right.
That that categorization of people is unnatural. It was created by people that wanted to put themselves at the top of society and control the other 90% of the world. And when we talk about like interracial relationships, we forget that that power dynamic exists. The only way you can come to a conclusion that it is unethical for Bill Clinton to do stuff with his intern, but say that it is ethical or possibly ethical for someone that's deemed a priority, someone that's deemed as privileged in society to marry ethically the people that her community or his community oppresses, brought
Mhm.
to America and Haiti against their will,
Yeah.
and we're sitting here in a land that we none of our ancestors chose to come to, and
Right.
we're acting like we're immigrants, but we're not. We're captives because none of our ancestors, unlike everyone else here, even the indigenous Americans, at some
Mhm.
point chose to leave Asia to come here.
Mhm.
Nowhere in our history did we. I mean, there are some that came here before Columbus, so we do have that, but not most of us. Most of us came here within the past 200 years.
Mhm.
Millions of us through slave ships, and for us to sit here as we are currently still being oppressed by this caste system and turn around to those that still benefit from the oppression and still benefit from the labor of our ancestors that were brought here against our will, to say we can ethically love them and there's nothing wrong with that, is mind-boggling. It's Stockholm syndrome.
I didn't say that though.
No, I wasn't saying you were saying that.
Okay.
No, this ain't. You see the top of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a discussion. I'm not.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
That's all
not
good.
debating you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
No,
Got it.
I was just saying that's what gets me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we're both speaking to the same point. That's what I was saying was
Oh. Okay.
like
Okay.
I look at that and I'm like, that's, it's like how do we get to a point where we're not even like we're not even 100 years removed from
Right.
black racial oppression. We're
Right.
we're still we're there are more black men in chains locked up right now than there ever was during the institution of slavery.
Right.
There's still medical racism. There's still economic disenfranchisement. Black women are the most educated demographic in the world, yet they're still disproportionately discriminated against when they're trying to get jobs. Shouldn't
Right.
black women lead in every industry? Like,
Right. Correct.
we know all this is going on, and then we turn around to them and tell them that we love them. I think it's wild.
Yeah, that's why this whole like when it comes to interracial marriage, like not always, but I always feel this type of like like the white counterpart like carries themselves as if it's like, oh, oh, I'm better than them, but I married them, but like I'm still better than them. Like that weird fetishizing type of like relationship is almost always there. Now, do I know every interracial couple who does that? No, I don't. But there's anytime I meet an interracial couple, there's always this weird air about it. Like, like you just like specifically the way they talk about the person, they talk about the black person like they just bought them. Like you know what I mean? Like even with adoption specifically, uh um I knew a white family who adopted a black son. They were treating him like he was a trophy, that they saved him, that oh yeah, we did the right thing, and he would be in poverty, and like there's always that weird fetishy air that's
Mm-hmm.
there, and it
Mm-hmm.
never feels right. So I don't know. It's like specifically with the white people adopting, black children. It's not like they want to learn uh, about the culture or get advice from people who are in the culture to take care of these kids. Like we tried in the past, like if you need help with this hair, if you need help with anything, just tell us. They let them go ragged. They did not want to care that much.
Mm-hmm.
All they wanted to do was feed their ego in like saving somebody.
Right.
And like even with the interracial dating, it's also the black counterparts sometimes it is more like oh well, I make a lot of money, so I need to date a white person, or like
Mm-hmm.
specifically. And it doesn't make sense because it's like, well, I mean, you don't need to do that. Like it's almost like a status,
Yeah,
like a
that's what it is. Yeah.
yeah, like it's like a status. Like they feel like I am entitled to whiteness because I make this, or like I'm a celebrity. Like what Cat Williams said about how like all of these people have like really light skinned wives all of a sudden, and it's
Yeah.
a pattern, light skin or like white, and it's a pattern, and seeing those patterns is like disheartening. Plus, the other part of it is that the black countertop always negatively talks about like the black woman experience, the black man experience. Like they're like, oh, what I got a white girl because black people are too loud and they're too ghetto
Mm-hmm.
and they have
Right.
baby mamas, and so they are perpetuating that stereotype and just making things worse.
Right.
Like you shouldn't be against your brothers and sisters like that. Like if you talk about um a black person like that when you're black, then how do you talk about your family, because they look like you? So it doesn't make any sense. But
Mm-hmm.
also the white people peacefully coexisting, I honestly don't think there can be, because you know, specifically white people like to report the dumbest stuff that we are doing, like walking home or having a party or selling lemonade or playing with the toy pew pew on the field. Like and we always get consequences for their reports of us just being in our own space, in our own time. So I honestly don't think that they can. Like it almost is like an itch that they need to show dominance in a way that like I can get you arrested at any time in any place, like type of way. So that's what I think about it. But thank you for educating me. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. You shared a lot of knowledge as well, man. Shout out to this sister right here.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
very
Well,
much.
yeah, you have a good night. One
Yeah,
love.
yeah. You too. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, she did say her birthday was tomorrow. Big up yourself, sis. Have a blessed earth strong. And we got another guest up here. Before we come to y'all, I just want to ask everybody down below to keep tapping like. I'm gonna probably be up here another 20 minutes. I got work to do for the people, y'all. I can't be on TikTok all day. That's why y'all got. Hey, if y'all want to catch me going live, on my profile, you're gonna see there's a notification bell in the top right. Click that notification bell to know when I'm going live. Cause I come here for a good time, not a short, a good time, not a long time. And I got a whole nonprofit that we building with black people. I can't be up here all day. You know what I'm saying? But I will be back. You know what I'm saying? But um, I gotta put the work of the people first. Shout out to all my donors, man. Shout out to everybody that's donating to b1initiative.org. We've been doing a lot of work that we're excited to share some with y'all tomorrow in our meeting. Tomorrow our meeting's at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time in the Discord. So join the Discord. The link is in my bio, b1initiative.org. And your donations are tax deductible. Send your donations through. We're gonna be continuing to build with our people. All right. Let me go to Ant real quick since he's been up here for a while. Ant, did you have something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, something else I want to add. First, I want to say appreciate everything you're doing for the black community, and as far as pushing the culture forward, as far as being pro-black, I do appreciate that. And I also want to say that I love black women. I love black women. I've never not loved black women. I've never had a connotation with black people. I feel that I also wasn't trying to put a rhetoric as far as me being with a white woman and black men should be with white women. That's not what I was trying to push at all. And I feel like as far as the discussion is going, I feel kind of attacked in a way that I can't, since I'm with a white woman, I can't be pro-black, and white people can't coexist with black people. I mean, white people.
No, you can't be pro-black.
Yeah, and I just have a problem with that because I feel
Why?
like because I can 100% be pro-black and be with a white person.
Mm-mm. If you have a problem with that, you should have a problem with your white woman. Don't have a problem with us.
But you're the one saying that.
Okay, so you can love to being a black person and being proud to be black, but why are you fighting so hard for pro-black when you didn't fight that hard to choose a black spouse?
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't
Because
make
it's intentionality. It means that you intend to build with your community, with your people that have been displaced by the same woman that you paired yourself with. It is understanding that how black men have been displaced in this country, not only historically, but presently. To understand the person that you're tying yourself to is literally benefiting off of your oppression. So to be pro-black means that you intend to build in your community that has been oppressed and is still experiencing oppression. You are a black man that loves to be black, but you chose something outside of yourself. Therefore, there's no need to say you are pro-black, because choosing one of the most important things you can do in life, and the only thing that you have 100% of a choice to do free of any judgment, is to choose your partner, and you chose something that was not of you.
The negative connotation with I feel like with black people being with a just being with a white person is, I feel like there's a lot of hate that is being given as far as towards the whole community of white people. And I'm not fighting for just loving white people.
Yes, you are.
That's not what I'm
Because
doing.
you
I'm
just
not
described
fighting.
it as hate, and that's ridiculous.
No,
Self-defense, defensiveness in the face of oppression is not hate. We don't hate white people just because they white.
you
We hate
called a
what
white
has
woman a
happened. We
skinny
hate
lip
what
lizard.
has happened to black people at the hands of white oppression for hundreds of years. We can hate that. I can hate the oppression of my people. That don't
Yeah,
mean I
you
hate white
can.
people. We don't
But
hate
I'm
white people.
saying, as far as when you called that white woman a skinny lip lizard, I mean that was hate.
That's
Now you
actually better than
fighting.
what I said. I did not say that. I did not say that. I wish I had thought of that one. That's not what I said. A skinny what you say? Yo, what you say,
I thought you said skinny lip lizard. That's what
Skinny lip
I
lizard. That is hilarious.
Hey, yo, that's
said.
wild. I mean,
I'm
I've
Yeah.
called them unbaked. I've called them frosted females. All type of others. I've never said skinny lip lizard. Skinny lip lizard. I don't know about what you got. I said lipless Lizzie. Maybe you heard that one.
yeah. That's
Ain't nothing
that's
wrong with having no lips. She ain't got no lips. She ain't got no lips. You know what I'm saying? I like a woman with lips. Shout out to them big lip, big forehead, bonnet wearing sisters. I like that.
I'm just gonna say one final thing. I would love to peacefully coexist with anybody, especially white people. I would love to eventually get there, and I feel
You
like the
cannot
way we
peacefully
get there.
coexist with someone at the top of a racial hierarchy built to oppress you. You just. The problem with you is so someone already sent $10. We out of here. All right. So the problem with him is that he takes the brainwashing. She got to him. Let's admit. Let me talk to y'all for real quick, man. Cause I saw, and I have elders, right, that I can consult on things, learn wisdom from, things of that nature, right? The job of a frosted female and her role within the construct of white supremacy is literally to disarm people. That's all she does. She disarms you. She lowers your defenses, and then she lets her man come and have at you. That's what she do. She lets the systems built by her man come at you. What she does is she gets around the sisters and she says, "We're all women. We're all women. I'm a woman just like you. Oh, we all suffer from men. Men are so cruel and mean. Let's join together and march together. And then lower your racial defenses. Lower your allegiance to your own people. And then when it comes to the brothers, the same thing. Oh, I'm different. I'm nothing like the rest of them. I'm different. I come from a racist family, but I'm not racist. I'm different. She lowers your defenses, black man. She lowering your defenses, and y'all fall for it every time. Y'all start falling. Y'all start falling for the belief that she's innocent, pure, and good because you've been told that your whole life. You've been told that whiteness means that she's innocent. Whiteness means that she's good. Whiteness means that she's some sort of purity. So you look at her when she tells you, "I'm not like the rest of them," and then wait till y'all get into an argument. Wait till she called the police on you. Wait till something happened to you, and she look at you and say, "Well, that wasn't racist." What do you mean? That wasn't racist. That's not what happened. When she starts invalidating your experiences, now all of a sudden she went from not being like one of them to being exactly one of them. Look at Jonathan Majors. He fell for it too. He thought that he had found one that was not like the rest of them. Now he's looking at getting sentenced to a year in jail because he found out she was exactly like the rest of them. It happens all the time, and y'all need to stop. But I'm gonna go to the next guest. Black Swan, did you have something you wanted to speak on, sister?
Yeah, we were having this discussion before on D's live, and I had said it's so interesting because we could talk about the importance of anti-racism and the need for anti-racism in an interracial relationship, but have we ever truly seen that? You know what I mean? Like, you're going for somebody who doesn't understand your experience in any way, shape, or form, and 9 times out of 10, it's not discussed, it's not talked about, or if it is, it's just done to the bare minimum. And for me, I don't want to have to teach a person how to see me as a human to be in a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be something that's just done just because. Then people will get into these relationships, and I think out of survival, the Black person finds themselves trying to, get the YT individual to understand their plight. And there are times where you can get them to understand, and there's times when you can't. But then you can't get everybody in their community to understand. You're gonna have grandma watch your kids on that side of the family, leave them alone with them. You know what I'm saying? Family gatherings and things like that. Like, for me, I know personally, I always go into a state of being cautious anytime I enter a room with them. You know, I wouldn't be able to fully share the most intimate parts of my life with a person who belongs to a community that has committed atrocities to mine for hundreds of years and is still doing so. And you know, nothing is necessarily being done. There's no sense of urgency on their end. So I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, I taught my partner this, I had to teach them that, I had to teach them this. And I'm thinking, well, they don't intentionally love you because they would have done that work before they got into a relationship with you. If they haven't, that means that they've been indoctrinated and programmed to be exactly what they are, which is to not see you and your community as a human being, and then you want to turn around and give birth to them. And that's a whole nother conversation, the impact that it has on children. That's the way that I look at it. I don't think I have ever seen an interracial relationship where that partner is unapologetically anti-racist. And that's what it would take in order to survive. So
Because if you're an anti-racist, you're not going to be with a black person. You're going to say, hold on. I am an anti-racist. I would not want to put myself in a position to where I'm going to cause more harm in your community by being with you and having the power dynamic that, whether I want to believe I have it or not, I have privilege over you. I have more control over your life than you have over mine. That power dynamic alone means that I'm going to, in some ways, in certain situations, have more power to do things to you that you won't have. I don't want to marry someone that I would have that power over, right? Like that's what an anti-racist mind is supposed to think if that were to ever be the case. But we haven't seen that. Like, and then on top of that, if you're anti-racist, it's not the same thing as being non-racist. Anti-racist means you are actively dismantling racism. You are actively going at it. So why are you coming to black people's communities to solve a problem in the white community? You would, as an anti-racist, want to be only around white people because racism itself is costing y'all money. It's destroying your countries and your societies. It's creating all type of economic problems for y'all. Why are y'all doing all of this? Like, it's problems in your community. Why would you come to a black community and try to be an anti-racist? It doesn't make any sense. Someone that's anti-racist would do the self-reflection to know that you ain't got no business around us. An anti-racist wants to leave black people the hell alone because that's what black people want. So, but let me go to the next guest. Appreciate you, Black Swan. Nibba, could you give us your age, race, and your pronouns, please?
I'm 26. My pronouns is he, cause I'm him, type shit. But I'm black. Nigga,
all right.
Look at it. Come on.
All right, talk to us.
Now, look, I know a little bit about some history and stuff because I actually had to read the definition once you had said it. I looked it up because I didn't know that was the definition of pro-black. I just assumed that pro-black meant that like you just would be pro-black. Most people do. You know what I mean? But definition-wise, you physically cannot be pro-black if you're white. You can't. You can't build a community that you don't belong to. It's just simple like that.
That's that simple.
So the history thing I had, because the reason I mentioned that, because I wanted to try to talk about shortly, because if I start to ramble, kick me, all right? I'm not tripping about that. But you ever heard of the Cossacks?
The what?
The Cossacks. That's the slaves before us. That's where the Europeans got their slaves before they went to Africa. They went to Ukraine, southern Russia to get their slaves. The Cossack.
I know, the Slavs.
But those people, even that group, right? Those people actually aren't one group. They're people who ran away from the serfdom at the time to form basically like the first version of communism. And it worked for a long time. But what happened to them was that the same shit that's happening to us, people wanting to cozy up to their oppressors. And that's eventually won out. You know what I mean? So it's happened before. And like, I'm sure there was Cossacks who was like, can we coexist with Russians? You know what I mean? Can we coexist with Ukrainians? Can we coexist with the Ottomans? They couldn't. It just never happened that way. And like, I believe if white people and black people were to coexist, we could coexist if we have the power, not if they do.
But see, if we had the power, right?
Yeah.
If we had the power, blackness wouldn't be necessary
It wouldn't
anymore,
be,
right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It would be equal footing. There would be no discussion. We wouldn't need any of this. You know what I mean? But until that happens, like there's no, because like, look, I've seen personally a 13-year-old girl get punched in the stomach so hard by the police, she coughed up blood. Granted, she was fighting a motherfucker. She was, right? But she was 13 years old. Police were called on her by a white dude. He didn't know she was 13. He just saw her out there acting wild. He called the police. You should have talked to her or something. You know, like most other people in the neighborhood do. Nope, just call the police. You know what I mean? Then they show up and he has to witness that too. You know, like, and the dude cried. I watched it. You know what I mean? But like that's what happens. And then like with the interracial relationships, man, my truck, I drive trucks. My mentor, his daughter, cause he's like some 60-something-year-old white dude who was teaching me how to like be a trucker. It's a lifestyle, it's different. But his daughter had a black husband, and his whole conversation with me about his grandkid was basically trying to get the black out of him. And every time I have a conversation with somebody who's like white and they have a black grandkid or have a black nephew or a black whatever, it's always trying to like get them to not act like the other black people. You know what I mean? It's never about actually trying to get the kid to be a kid or be happy or any of that other stuff. It's always about trying to get them to act less like the stereotype. And we don't even act like that. You know, it's ridiculous. And it can go further. Like, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm gonna start rambling, but
okay.
Yeah.
That's the last question for us.
Okay, the last question. Well, can we? What was it?
Can white T people peacefully coexist with non-white T people?
They haven't. Okay, look, no history. Let's go back. Look, white T people just want to be involved. We can go look at the parts of the world that refused to trade with them for like 200-something years. Opium War I, Opium War II. You got the U.S. force in Japan to open up. You got the entire colonization of Africa, the entire colonization of the Americas. You got all this stuff. You know what I mean? And then the barbarian. You don't even know what that means. Barbarian just means you don't speak Greek. It's Greek for non-Greek speaker. Like, that's where that comes from. You freaking ignorant. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like that, and that's another thing I was gonna say. The easiest way, if any, like, this is what the Pan-Africanists back in the day should have done. This is where they failed, I believe. Me personally, right? They should have taught us different languages. Separate us from them. Because now we have this mix where some of us have a superiority complex that don't belong to us. You know what I mean? And that's all it is, because like when you see, like when I meet a black woman who date white men, I automatically know she don't like me. Like, she hates me. I can feel it. You know what I mean? I'm really sensitive to this kind of stuff. I always know. You just don't like me just because somebody said something to you back in the day. And you just never let that shit go. And then vice versa with the opposite. Like, I could tell he don't really like he don't like himself. You know, I got a brother. Man, I got a brother, bro, who he just convinced that that black girls don't like him. And he's like, he don't even try. And the thing is, he don't keep himself up. Like, black women have standards, right? White women will date anything. Look at them.
That's
black women who date anything. They white men.
Only the ones that end up with us will date anything. And I had one of them frosty females come up here yesterday and was talking about when she had her baby, she had it with a black man. She said how she at that point just wanted to have a baby by anybody. She didn't even care, because the ones that get to us, they lose their intentionality because they've already been shunned by their own community by the time they get to us.
And the reason they're shunned, bro, look, and the thing is, the reason they're shunned is because they actually might have had some glimmer of, like, anti-racism in them as a child, and they just didn't agree with that, because it's usually always a racist uncle, racist dad, racist granddad, or somebody in the family who's racist, and that's why they date black people now. You know what I mean? And if that's your driver, you just don't like your dad. You don't really like me. You know what I mean?
It's always something I notice, not always, I won't say always, I'm going to stop speaking in absolutes, but for the most part, I see brothers with white T women that don't fit the patriarchal standards of beauty and
Bro, they basic.
what
They
would
be looking. They be looking like NPC characters. They be looking like
yeah,
the
like what
characters
would
I make
make
on Blender
them
when I look that boy up.
it's like what would make them desirable to white men.
They're
Like by
not.
the time they get to us, they have something that you can see why the white tea men passed up on them. Like white ideals of beauty include being thin, right? So
Bro,
you see a lot of
skeletal.
brothers with
Thin,
you see a lot of
skeletal.
yeah, right. You see a lot of
Like,
brothers with big girls. You see a lot of brothers with women with tattoos all over them. You're not going to get a Taylor Swift and a brother together. We get Iggy Azaleas. We get women that listen to hip hop and
yeah,
you
you
know
get
pull up
we get the
porn.
lower rung of
Right.
their
And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Or they're a feminist or certain things like you don't see brothers end up with those Ivanka Trumps.
Man. Have you
You know
ever
what I'm
been
saying?
to You ever been in Toledo, Waterford? Like, you know what I mean? I can name all the. Actually, outside of every major black city, there's always an interracial mixed city, and it always has the same dynamics of drugs, drinking, and interracial like racism. You know what I mean?
hmm
It mixed in
hmm
with a spattering of other bull crap, but it's just like I hear these dudes, they just get to just yapping and yapping and yapping about how much they're just mad because, bro, you mad because you didn't pick your hair out one time and you tried to speak to this lady and your breath was stinking and she told you and hurt your feelings, and because of that you never graduated from 8th grade. You still there. You know what I mean? And that's where you at in your head, and that's why you choose to date white girl. And you look at these relationships, they don't even have nothing in common. Like, what can y'all possibly like, bro, my girlfriend's Jamaican. You know what I mean?
But and
Like,
then and then ask her where they met at. That's the funny part for me. Ask them where they met. Most of the times she slid up in his DMs or he slid up in hers.
9 times
It-
out of 10. Or like
It's
he
most
saw
of
her
the
out.
times they meet on the internet or Tinder or something. They always
Yeah.
meeting on the internet.
It's always a hookup thing, man. And then it's like don't get me wrong, like there's some cool, like people in general have the tendency to be cool. You know what I mean? People can be cordial, people can get along, but when you're gonna look at the overall picture of white and black, like it's always them doing some bull crap and us just react, like, either reacting to it or dealing with it. And
hmm
it's tiring, man. It's just the same old, same old, same old. And like I would like to see something different personally.
hmm I hear that. Well, appreciate you for answering the questions for us. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Thanks again. All right. The next guest, Bear Maple. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
How's it going, y'all? I'm 29. I'm black, and I'm he and him.
All right.
So,
Appreciate you. Talk to us.
so I have a question. By the way, earlier on you mentioned how people who are white, like we're taught to believe they're pure, innocent. That's crazy. I mean, that's true. I have a friend from China actually, and I feel like a lot of people who are from out the country that move here, they tend to want to align with white supremacy. And they tend, and I try to like, it's not my weight to want to, to educate them, but, I do now and then they're open to it. And she was, and she's like, oh shit, like I didn't know like about this and that. But no, it's honestly mind blowing that they come here and they like don't know anything.
hmm
But I have a question though for the first part. So there were these two white people who broke into an FBI building and released these files though on COINTELPRO. Would they be considered pro-black
No.
You gotta.
or allies?
No. All right. So when it comes to them doing things like that, right? Anti-racism is working to dismantle racist oppression, right? So dismantling racism in any form that it exists, institutional, systemic, social, on a civilian level, on a government institution level. Dismantling racism, doing things to impede or tear apart discrimination and exposing that would just be anti-racism. And
Okay.
when it comes to anti-racism, we're the allies.
Yeah.
Because if my dog took a crap on your bed and I helped you clean it up, did I do you a favor?
I'm bad. What was that?
If my dog came to your house and took a number two on your bed, and that's disgusting. You don't want to sleep with that on your bed. And then I clean it up for you. Did I do you a favor?
I mean, technically, but also no.
It's interesting what people think of as favors, because if my dog did that to you and I allowed that to happen, I wouldn't think that you did me like when I think of like I guess okay, let me say did it benefit you? I'll word it differently. Did it add any net benefit to you to have clean sheets after my dog took a crap on it?
Nope.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. But white people cleaning up white people's mess is not benefiting the black community. It's not helping us build within the black community. It is not in the best interest of the black community as a whole, because what's in the best interest of the black community has nothing to do with the white community and their problems. Racism is a white problem that affects black people. Black
That's good.
people have lowered the bar for entrance into our community to just giving a shit. And that's the problem with black people, is we think if a white person even give a shit, then wow, oh, you want to, come on to the cookout. Come on, this is amazing. Oh my goodness, he gives a he sees us as human. Whoa, like you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's true.
There has to be some black people that are pro-black. There has to be some black people that are on the team scoring shots. There has to be offensive pro-blackness, not defensive all the time.
Yeah, and that's I believe that. That's a great point. I can't argue that at all. And then on to the next part, though, interracial marriage, Joe. I am for it still. I still am for it in the black community. Not always white, though. It could be a black man or a black woman and a Asian man or a South American man. I feel like we always think it's white, but as long as that person though is actively anti-racist though and understands the black struggle, I'm all for it.
Did you know that higher concentrations of Neanderthal DNA have actually been linked to compromising your future bloodline?
You don't
And
care
the
about
individuals that have the
Timothy
highest
coming in
concentration.
gangster today. Whoa, Timothy.
Listen, the bloodline. What do you mean?
They need to know, because at the end of the day, you are literally biologically compromising yourself by engaging in relations of procreation with individuals with higher concentrations of Neanderthal DNA.
Okay.
And the individuals that have higher concentrations are Asian and European.
All Asian,
I'm
all
not saying
Asian,
you're wrong. I'm just saying
Asian
you're not going to
big.
win somebody over with that.
There's China, there's Japan, there's
He don't care
India, there's
about that.
Russia. What part of
He
Asia?
just cares about having access to them, Timothy, because he's about in the black community. That's not in the black community. That's outside of it. So stop trying to bring people into the community that don't care about the community. You, like I said last time you were on here, you are a detriment to our community because you're bringing danger to black people.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I'm for my
Go
community.
over there and tell
I'm
them
not,
that you're cool with it. Go over there and tell them.
But
See, that's the thing with you black men
reach.
and you black women that they're outside y'all race. They don't accept y'all on the other side. That's why y'all come over here and be mad about not being pro-black, because y'all want to bring them over here. Because you know you can't go over there.
It's not about bringing
you'll become an
anybody
ornament
anywhere.
over there.
It's
You'll
an
be a tree
imaginary.
ornament over there. That's why y'all want to come over here with that BS so damn bad.
Wow. So I dated an Asian woman recently, and there was no me bringing her anywhere that I don't understand this imaginary place I'm bringing her to.
You said in the black
family was very inclusive. They loved her. I don't understand this.
All right, hold on, D. Do you consider yourself pro-black?
Your definition, I wouldn't be, but I say I am.
All right, cool. You could be black and happy with your Asian woman. I wish you the best.
I work for my community. I donate. I work. I mentor.
It doesn't mean anything.
I don't think you should be mentoring
I'm in my
anybody.
community actively. I'm in the trenches doing my thing.
Yeah,
So
Bear, the problem is that you are literally spending the most intimate moments of your entire life, meaning the times in which you are feeling your weakest, the times in which you're sharing the most about yourself, the times in which you are emotionally compromised. You're spending literally the most intimate moments of your life with an individual that is outside of your community, which is very, very telling.
And that's okay.
What it is that you personally internalize. And that's not okay, because at the end of the day, if you're talking about being pro-black, and that literally means that you can't be pro-black because you're spending the most intimate and most compromising moments of your life with an individual that is not black. That literally actually more so gives credence to the fact that you have self-hatred.
No,
because you're
so
not marrying
one
within
thing,
your own
passion
community.
and love though goes past these racial barriers.
Who taught you what love means?
Myself and what I feel is right, and what I feel like who I'm most attracted to. And no,
Who
it's not,
taught you that
and
what you feel is right?
it's
Wait,
not about me.
hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah, go ahead.
Bear, calm down. You
Okay.
think you ate right there, but you actually just proved something. Who taught you that what you feel is right is what love is?
Well, I go with what I feel is right. I don't think I was taught this.
And
Maybe,
who taught and who said what you feel love is
yeah.
what love is? Who came up with that ideology? Because you're not the first person. You really think you invented what the definition of
No,
love is
definitely
for
not.
yourself?
And I think there's
Okay.
different definitions
So
for it too.
feelings of euphoria, feelings of your
That's
endorphins
very
and
biological.
all that dopamine rush, all of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
feeling that you feel like love is. Who told you that was love? Who
I
came
say
up with
that.
that definition?
I say I first felt it from my parents. Like that first unconditional love came from my parents for sure. But that's
Okay.
different. That's not the same as like a romance love. I think we both agree on that, right? But I could say that kind of reaction though is very biological, very natural, very like what's that word? Like
Who told you it
instinctual,
was natural?
very primitive,
Who told
almost.
you it was primitive? Oh, be careful with that word. Who told you it was natural?
I'd say myself. I haven't like got a book and say what is love.
Were your
But
parents?
see, that's the thing. You're a victim to your conditioning because you think that you came up with it on your own. When really it could be traced back less than 200 years ago to a philosopher named Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a sociologist. So the idea that what you just described as love didn't exist until 200 years ago. What do you think they did before that?
So no, before that, depending on where you were from, though, people were like married for land, for resources, for um, like
Okay, and the rapings that took place during the European transatlantic slave
yeah,
trade, we just gonna skip
yeah.
over all that?
Well, you asked me a question, so there's a lot to it. Like, there's so much mass
Yeah, but
history.
200 years ago,
400
it
years ago.
wasn't like, hey, I'm willingly engaged in relations with these people. They had breeding farms, bro. Like you can't tell me that 200 years ago, oh
I
yeah, they were
understand.
just consensual. Yay. Like no, the hell
I
they weren't.
Yeah, so I understand that too. But even back then, people were still together consensually, and like the girl I'm choosing to be with now. Even back then, people were still together consensually, and like.
I was getting tired of his voice. Shout out to Sister Stella. Stella dropping y'all like flies, man. I'm telling you, we tired of it. We tired of it. That was getting on my nerves. But he started off like he was learning, but then he was gonna stand 10 toes for his Asian woman. He was about he that like the other stuff he was kind of like asking for the definition, and when he got to that interracial, he was like, well, this is where I stand. And you can't tell me. Like, so it got kind of that's when it y'all show yourselves when you do that.
I mean,
Go
that's
ahead, Timothy.
I mean that's fine. It's just within the next like what 1,000 years, his entire bloodline's gonna just deplete off the face of the earth. But hey, I mean, go off. Hey, do you
Listen,
do you?
it's still systemic when we talk about non-white, non-black people. It's still systemic. It's still systemic. Asia, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Korean, everybody steals from the resources of Africa. Everybody is complicit in African oppression. Whether you're talking about the people in the Middle East, you're talking about the Southeast Asians, you're talking about anywhere in Asia, black oppression is and anti-blackness is still rampant. So it doesn't matter. No one, we don't have allies outside of our community because right now every part of of the world of different communities still harbor these anti-black sentiments. And to say that you can marry outside our community and still say you're going to build for our community is just wild.
I
I
just want to
think
say one thing
he
though, because when he was talking, right, the main thing he said was when she came to meet his family accepted. He ain't say nothing about going over there.
Right. I think it's the interesting part. I didn't want to say this because I felt like it would have cut it short, and I know people are learning from that dialogue and that back and forth, but this is what, the fourth day that he's come back trying to convince us. Like, we don't need you to convince us. We're not in your relationship. We're not the one making that decision for you in terms of who you want to be with. I think you are here having this discussion with us because you are trying to convince yourself of something. You're running from what you know to be true, but you don't want to say it out loud, and it's the guilt, I think, that's coming out. So
Yep.
I think it just says a lot about what's going on internally within him.
Yep. It's like this desire to be accepted by the black community, but the problem is that you literally chose to divest from it. So it's like you can't like have a deep-seated desire to be accepted by your own people when you're not even choosing your own people.
It's
So
like you're watching your sister drowning, and you know you could reach your hand into the lake and save her, but instead you're gonna go camping with some Asian people and, like, chill in the forest area. And even though you know she's drowning, you could help her, you could do something. And that's not the only reason why you should be with black women. It's not just because you want to help them, but you understand that being intentional, and there are black women of all kinds for you to find. That whatever you can find in the Asian community, you can find in the black community. You like women whose eyes look like this? You could find sisters whose eyes look like that. You like women that are short. A lot of them are short, I think, right? So anyway, you can find you a short shorty. You feel me? There's sisters of all phenotypes. We got everything from chalk to charcoal in our own community. So it's really no reason why someone could say that they had to go outside of the community, because we're the most diverse community. But then on top of that, there's no reason for you to say you pro-black, because finding someone within this diverse community would actually help improve the conditions of our future generations by you being intentional with the mother of your child and who you decide to spend your time with. It could actually help the next generation coming and into this world with a black mother, a black father, a sense of self, teaching them. But it's a lot of brothers are not going to be on that. Here, we're going to hold y'all responsible to that, though.
Mhm.
But let's go to the next guest. Jacqueline, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please? Jacqueline. Jacqueline, that's from Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
Hello. No. It's Jacqueline Aaliyah.
Okay. Jacqueline, you got to echo, Jacqueline. You got to turn your Bluetooth off and turn it back on. Turn your Bluetooth off and turn it back on. You got too much of an echo. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, she gone. Yeah, Jaqueline. What else did he say? Aaron. Yeah, that is hilarious.
Oh
Key and
man.
Peele is good, man. I like the show. I'm tight with Jordan Peele because he's a COO. So, yeah.
Oh,
Background
oh.
respect.
Jacqueline.
Yeah, Jacqueline.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got a lot of stuff going on.
I'm African American. I'm in my late 30s. What I would have to say is this: we have to remember history. We're all our enemies. All had us in captivity. All did us wrong. So I don't understand why would you want to cling on to other people who secretly hate you. And I said, for me, it's self-destruction. And it's like they take your ideals, they take everything for you and start to use them and get paid for them. And me personally, I feel like black people really who does that really hate themselves. When you go into their history, they talk about you like a dog. They know everything about you. They know your true heritage. They know your forefathers. They know the captivities you've been in. and they can break everything down. So you're clinging on to something that God does not like. The Most High is against interracial dating. Go read Deuteronomy 7, chapter
The
7.
Most High.
Yeah, I say God.
Can I,
You could say whatever, but you know,
What
I'm just
what
saying like
religion you talking about? You talking about Abrahamic religion?
I'm talking about Hebrew. Like I know I go into
Abrahamic
we are
religion.
Israel. I'm not going into that, but I'm just saying that for example, that happened when we went into the other nations and started clinging on and doing all these things. That's why we went in captivity. It's just historic history when you read and understand. These people know this. And for us as black people, we should learn how to love ourselves. And there's so many, like you said too, we got so many kinds of black people out there. Why do you have to jump into that? You could pick from your own.
Hmm.
And it's just sad. It's like that's like self-hatred. And then a lot of times y'all have these kids, they're confused. They don't even know who they are. So they have a lot of questions. They don't feel like they're part of us. They don't feel like they're really a part of you too much. And it's like they're left with a lot of confusion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We
No,
know.
that's all I want
Mm-hmm.
to say. But me
Yeah.
personally, I totally agree. It's like, why go to them? And they hate you? Didn't they forefathers go into the history? Didn't they forefathers hate us? Then a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Let's go into the Asian dynasty. Then they had us in captivity. Let's go into a lot of the history with a lot of these people. Then they have us in captivity. Let's go into the Saharan slave trade. Let's really go into this. These folks don't like us. We're scattered at the four corners of the earth. Everybody hate us.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But you want to breed in and have kids with them. Make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
Khalid Muhammad talks about that. He said when he traveled to Europe or anywhere that Europeans exist, Europeans was at the top and black Europeans was at the bottom. When he went to Asia, he anywhere that Asians were existing with black people, he saw white Asians at the top and black Asians at the bottom. When he went to the middle, what we call the Middle East, but when he went to that region where he saw Arabs and Muslims, he saw white Arabs and Muslims at the top and black Arab and Muslims at the bottom. So, like anywhere you go, there's anti-blackness.
Right. And then you see how too they treat our brothers and sisters really bad in the Arabian countries. They treat
Mm-hmm.
the women like nothing. They are worth the women. They force our people into weird activities. It's just me
Yeah.
personally, I'm not doing it. To each his own. And I feel like a lot of these nations are going to. That's why I'll say that's why a lot of our people just constantly clinging on. That's going to be their self destruction. That's going to be self destruction. But thank you for
Yeah.
letting me talk.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm never taking my queen to those Arab nations. I ain't doing that. I'll
But you see how many black women want to be with them.
mm-hmm.
Not. I'm just saying not all black women, but it's like a certain amount that oh, I want to go out there and go into their country. They have this and that. They have this and that. But you got to remember, why do you think they marry into their own families? To keep their bloodline strong. So why
Oh,
are
they do
you?
it more than anyone else. That's the funny thing
Yeah.
is the West Asian what we call the Middle East, those people they do it to the point where they have the highest rates of incest. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mother cousin love, you know what I'm saying? Mother brother
Right.
love. So they do that a lot.
Range marriages.
Right. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the thing.
So it's like, why would you want to dilute your bloodline and to strengthen another man's bloodline? Make it make sense with your melanin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting it. But thank you again. You can drop me. I appreciate it.
All right.
Very, very interesting when people come and they tell us they're trying to educate us about the foolery they've attached themselves to. So that little bear dude is so funny. It's like Swan said, he keep coming back. He's like a fly. He keep wanting to be hit. Sir, you are waiting for our approval. That means you're making a decision that you've already made. But yet you come in here trying to convince us of something you did. That's so weird. He in the chat fighting for his life about an
Right.
Asian woman who family you couldn't speak to. You spoke to how black. all black people are welcome and accepted. But how did that acceptance go on the other side when you went over there? You ain't said shit about that.
I know. I mean, that's the thing because we look at ourselves in the mirror and we look at ourselves as, I'm me, I'm good. People accept me, I'm good. But when they see you, they see the N word first, and then they have to think beyond that. They have to think to not, act on that first thought. And we forget that because we so used to just living in our own skin that we comfortable. And we don't understand that when they see us, they're like, whoa, oh yeah, wait, I was about to call the police. Whoa, yeah, you're one of the good ones. Okay, we're good. Like, then, so that's the thing, But yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of here. I got stuff to do for the community, for the nonprofit. I got coding to do. I'm trying to get this website up. It's the weekend, and I'll be working Monday through Friday, so I try to get as much done for the nonprofit on the weekend as I can. I'm excited to have this website up. I'm going to show it to all of y'all as soon as it's done. B1initiative.org is about to get a facelift. So right now, if y'all want to join the Discord, you can go ahead. The link is in my bio, B1initiative.org. That's to join our Discord. We're a nonprofit building Sankofapedia, a online encyclopedia of Afrocentrism and African scholars, African history, events, cultures, you name it, from an Afrocentric perspective, okay? We're going to tell African history the way Africans see it, not the way Europeans see it. That's just such a nuance that a lot of y'all don't understand, is that even when you take these African studies courses and all these other stuff at these predominantly white institutions, y'all don't understand that you're getting the Europeans telling of African history. Afrocentrism focuses on the African perspectives of African history. So that's what's going to set us apart from any other online encyclopedia that you're going to see. I appreciate y'all again. Don't forget you can donate $ Bring Down Babylon. And if you want to get early access to Sankofapedia, donate and hit the link in my bio. All right, y'all. Appreciate you, Leisha, and all my moderators, T-Dub. Thank you, Black Swan and D for hanging around, and Brother Timothy for dropping gems on us. We're going to have our meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, we're going to have our meeting. We talk about some things. And lovely Rose Petals, appreciate you. All right, y'all. One love. I'm out. Peace.